everyone, Gina Kraft here, District Technology Coach. We're going to look at today how to create an assignment that is synced with your Google Drive so that whenever you start to kind of play around with this and you want to start to create assignments that eventually your students may or may not use in the future, then you just have a basic idea of how this works. So after I am on Schoology and I put in my username and my password, I'm going to log in. And I want to do this in a sandbox course that I've already created just because it's not something I'm ready for other people to see yet. It's really just for my practice. I'm not really wanting anybody to be using it or anything like that. So I'm going to do this in a sandbox course that I've already created. So I'm going to go up to courses, that blue bar, and then I'm going to go over here to craft sandbox. Now, I already have a couple of different things here where, I've started to create some different resources just for practice. What I'd like to do is I'm going to create a new assignment that I will eventually be giving to my students. I have a few students in here. So you can see I do have some people in here. So I'm going to go back to that materials and I'm going to add materials. And then I'm going to go here to add an assignment. So this is virtually going to take sending a paper copy to every single student, handing one out to every single student. It's going to do the same process, but it's just going to be on a device. I'm just going to make this test activity. And I'm going to give it a description of this is just a practice test. You don't have to put a description. I just like to put a description so that I know what I'm doing and so my students would know what I'm doing as well. Now, assign from app. This is where I'm going to click that Google Drive assignments. And this is synced up with my school Gmail, my at mcusd2.com Gmail. So anything that I have built on here is accessible and I could attach it and make that a copy for my students. I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to choose this doc. I know it's a Google Doc because it's blue. And that's the one I'm just going to choose. It's just for a test. It's just for practice. So I can see it says right here, this will create a copy of your file for each student, which means it's literally going to take that paper copy and it's going to now be a virtual copy for every single student. So it's going to take your template and it's going to then recreate it for every single student. So they have the exact same assignment. It's just going to be marked specifically for them. I'm going to go ahead and make this due date, let's say for tomorrow. And classwork, that's great. I like that category. When you go here, you may not have any categories. These are eventually going to be synced with Skyward, but this is just my sandbox. This isn't synced with Skyward, so I created a couple of categories just for practice. You can do that right here by creating a new grading category. I'm going to keep that on that. I want it in my sandbox. Now, I don't want it at a 4-point scale. I just want it right here, numeric, so that I can change it because I really want this to actually be 10 points. So you might need to change that scale or rubric. Once I'm ready, I'm going to hit create. Now this assignment, it automatically is going to go down to the bottom because it was the last thing that I did. I'm going to click on this assignment so that you can see what it looks like from the teacher perspective. So I can see that here's my assignment and I can see that there's a description. I'm going to go over to this in progress tab. So this shows me my different students that I have. It looks like none of my students have opened up my assignment, clearly because it's a sandbox and also because I just created it. But when they do, their document will be over here on the right-hand side. So I'll be able to see their copy of all of the edits and all the different things that they have done on that original document. I can also go over to the submissions, and if you have lots of students, this is where their assignments will be, but I can filter this by what is graded, what needs grading, what is late, and what is on time. So those 4 filters are really helpful to kind of help delineate who was able to turn things in on time and just kind of help you stay nice and organized with those different assignments that you are going to have. So this is just a quick look at how the syncing and how the the infrastructures that work together with Schoology and with Google, how this is really going to hopefully kind of streamline down the road how assignments are made, how they are created, and how they are given out to students.